After 6 long days since the release of episode 61, we now have episode 62, and it's crazier than any of us could have imagined. Now, keep in mind, this is the end of season 20, so it got pretty intense, as the cameramen in the last 4 episodes have gotten a lot of W's. There's also a huge secret in this episode that many people missed that I'll be talking about at the end of this video. Before that, let's talk about what we'll be talking about in this deep dive. Today, we'll be breaking down all the small and big details, including the new Skibidi mutants, G-Man and his epic return, the new Skibidi scientist upgrades. Did you also happen to see the secret agent in today's episode? If you did not, don't worry, there's more to be said about that towards the end of the video, and it's actually game-changing. Let's do a quick recap of the episode, showcasing of all of its glory and hard work that the Boom put into this episode. This episode really was crazy for me because we saw a cameraman being resurrected, which is pretty cool, and then we had the cameraman bullying a Skibidi, and then he gets sonic boomed and blown up. Yeah, he just got destroyed, but he's like, what'd I do, bro? But as you can see, that's when everything went wrong. We got a cameraman running away from normal Skibidis. We got helicopter Skibidis. Keep in mind, every single Skibidi in this episode is wearing headphones because, of course, the Skibidi scientist arrives. He is now the size of a Titan, and he sonic booms everyone. Now, when he does this, we've got to put on headphones. We put on the headphones, and you see all your friends going down. And then we get surrounded. G-Man's behind us when we turn around. We've got this plane. We've got a Strider Skibidi. We've got the brown Skibidi. We've got our reinforcements, camera getting blown up. We've got a mutant Skibidi. And of course, we've also got the new Buzzsaw Skibidi. But there's something everyone missed I'll mention at the end of the video. So obviously, this episode had a lot of things in it that we need to go over, starting with the 2 medic cameramen working on the downed cameraman at the beginning. Now, at first glance, you would think that these are engineer cameramen, but there is a difference between medic cameraman and engineer cameraman. As you can see with this side by side, their heads are also way different than normal cameramen, but similar to the engineer cameraman. They go, they have a lot of similarities here. This medic cameraman can only be found in most recent episodes, like in 52 and in 54, and of course, in this most recent episode of 62. The medic cameraman is also a type of cameraman that is specially trained. They are sent out in the battlefield only to help injured cameramen. Instead of 2 repair tools like the engineer, they have only 1, and they wear ties. They are most likely used to close up wounds on cameramen from battle and repair them. And as you can see, the engineer cameramen, who typically work on mech suits and Titans, first appeared in episode 29 and in 49 in these 2 clips. Now, these 2 are completely different cameramen, but within the same field, they are the ground support team for cameramen, mechs, and Titans. Now, after the medic shocked the cameraman back to life, he was revived, but sadly, these efforts were then wasted because, as you guys just saw from the overview video, things got really insane in this episode, and with the clapback of the Skibidi toilets, the future looks really grim for the cameramen. But I find it super interesting as well that the cameraman behind the medics is just watching them perform surgery while he's drinking his favorite drink, relaxing all cool. And this is one of the many reasons why the cameramen get owned in this episode. You can see that big cameramen are playing catch with a small Skibidi toilet, and the speaker head sonic booms him so hard that he explodes. The cameraman was like, what the heck are you doing, dude? And the speaker head was confused too on what he did wrong, and that's where the entire episode took a downhill turn. It was at the exact moment that the explosion went off with the Skibidi toilets chasing a cameraman, and we see 3 helicopter Skibidis with RPGs, and of course, the introduction of the new Titan Skibidi scientist. So let's quickly pause and take a look on how massive this new Skibidi scientist is, because he is bigger than all the buildings and is bigger than any other Skibidi toilet, even G-Man, which when we saw him in episode 60, they were side by side, and the scientist was literally almost 2 times his size. Now, keep in mind, in multiple episodes, about in the last 10, we've seen Skibidi toilets, especially the bigger ones, have some kind of black smoke technology teleportation, the same kind that the TV men use. Is it possible that the Skibidi toilets have replicated the TV men technology, or is it possible that the TV men have been captured and that the Skibidi toilets have locked them in a cage somewhere in the Skibidi headquarters? Episode 62 was the first time the Skibidi scientist used his CAMERAMEN upgrade, which he stole, by the way, to absolutely wipe out the cameramen with his sonic boom. The sounds from his speaker caused the speakerman to pretty much implode, but we were lucky enough to find some headphones on the floor. With this entire scene, there is a massive secret that I believe a lot of people missed, and I want to talk about it at the end of this video because it's actually insane if this theory is true, and it's the only thing that makes sense, and I can't wait to share with you guys at the end of the video. But after we grab our headphones, we see G-Man back in business with his 4 lasers, and he's also wearing headphones again. Now, these headphones are being worn because, as you guys know, the scientist Skibidi speakers would probably destroy G-Man if he did not wear them. You can also see his face is still a little bit burned from his insane battle with the Camera Titan, but it's a shock to me that we've seen so much of G-Man in the last few episodes since he almost died in episode 60 and in episode 57. This guy is constantly under extreme pressure. What's so cool about this episode as well is we get to see a brand new introduction of the Skibidi Bomber, also known as the Nuke Propeller Plane Skibidi Toilet. This Skibidi Toilet has 2 propellers to keep the weight off the wings, a laser, multiple bombs, and the actual toilet itself. The Nuke Propeller Plane Skibidi Toilet appears very similar to a heavy bomber plane in real life, having the ability to drop powerful and destructive bombs, all while wearing a military helmet. In this episode, we also got to see on the side of the screen a Skibidi Strider that has also the crazy eyes similar to the crazy eyes of the YouTuber toilet that we saw in episode 61, also known as Geeky Jesus Toilet. Of course, we can't forget the 4 regular toilets, all with headphones on, and the giant large Skibidi toilet. This brown Skibidi toilet is one that we have not seen since episode 36, and he was actually flushed in the background. The brown Skibidi toilet you see here in episode 15 and the one here in episode 27 are the small variants of the original Skibidi toilet and aren't actually anything special besides difference in color. But what's crazy is that the POV camera getting swarmed at this point, everything is behind him is destroyed, and he's the last one standing. You see a mutant toilet with headphones ripping the head off a cameraman, and we have a brand new Buzzsaw family member, which they've had a lot of brand new family members recently, and this new Skibidi toilet is something that we've never seen before because he is a part of the scientist Skibidi's mutant family. It's honestly extremely creepy on how many Skibidis the scientist Skibidi has created all these episodes. He's been brewing up some crazy mutants all this time. Like, this Buzzsaw Skibidi is extremely powerful against normal cameramen. But this is where you think the video just ends, right? Because it goes to black. But that's where you're wrong, because you missed the most important thing in this episode that no one's talking about. As you all know, the secret agent for the most part has stayed out of every single battle of the war and has only ever helped us once. And that was in episode 47 at the very end. Every time we have seen him, no other Alliance member or Skibidi toilet could see him, and it was almost as if he was invisible to everyone else besides the POV camera. What's crazy is that the secret agent most likely placed the headphones next to us for us to use so the POV camera, which is us, would not get eliminated before we saw all the things that the new mutant Skibidis are up to. The only possible explanation for these headphones right here to be exactly where they are, and the Skibidi scientists not hurting the thing that walked away from us that gave us the headphones, is that this was the secret agent, as no other person, cameraman, or Skibidi toilet can survive the sonic boom of the Skibidi toilet besides the secret agent. As you guys know, the sonic boom is one of the most powerful attacks that anyone can use, and the fact that the Skibidi toilets have it right now is insanely scary. This episode for sure was an interesting way to end season 20, and there's still a lot more questions that need to be answered in future episodes. So it's safe to assume that the next episode we might get a look at the CAMERAMEN returning with the brand new upgrades, or we might get to see the return of the Elite Plungerman or the hospital that both of them are being worked on. It is also possible that we see the return or the introduction of a brand new female Titan, as we have yet to see a female Titan be introduced, which I think would be really awesome. But whatever the next episode is, big thanks to Boom for making such a crazy, amazing series. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video that's gonna blow you away. Bye, guys.